Join us live Wednesday, November 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the Hood Metal Records Livestream Broadcast number 14 with featured guest interview, the band RECURRENCE. We're going to be talking about their new album release, Art of Survival, as well as recapping the latest Death Hop Goth Pop tour, plus Hood Metal Records news, announcements, and more. So stick around and make sure you join us for this broadcast. Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you and welcome to joining the Hood Metal Records live stream broadcast. This is going to be episode number 14. And hello, Internet world. Hello, Facebook Live. Hello, YouTube Live. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast, as well as the future listeners and viewers of this show. We want to encourage everybody that's watching right now to go ahead and share this video so we can get more people watching the show. And, we've got a lot to talk about on this episode. We've got a very special featured guest that's in the house that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But, what's going on, everybody? What's good? Happy fall, happy almost, do I dare say winter? Because, yeah, it's coming, man. It's coming here, we've already had a blast of snow here up in Michigan, and thankfully it's going to be warmer and shit this week. So definitely looking forward to that, and looking forward to interacting with all of you guys as well. So, make sure you comment, say hi, say what's up, let us know how we're doing. If you guys comment, we'll give you a shout out, throw the horns up, do your thing. All right. So, my name is Bihan, and I am the owner and the host of the Hood Metal Records live stream broadcast. And this is a place where, we talk about music, we talk about art, life, kind of what's going on with us. What we've been up to, our shows, our projects, everything Hood Metal Records. And then also we like to give a platform to some artists out there as well, too. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the tour that we just completed this past fall. And that was the Death Hop Goth Pop Tour Part 2. And I had the privilege and honor of going with my tour mates, DJ Sickenly Sweet and Ghoul, who's a part of Hood Metal Records. And we kicked this tour off in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I believe that was September 18th at Mulligan's Pub. And we also we did 5 dates for this tour. And this was, the second date was at Witch's Brew in South Bend, Indiana. The third date was at Oddfellows Liquor Bar, and that was in Cincinnati, Ohio. And our fourth date, we were in Lexington, Kentucky for Girls Burritos, night 4. And then for night 5, we wrapped up the tour by heading back to Michigan, and we played Corktown Tavern in Detroit, Michigan. So, touring is everything to me. It was always, my dream, what I got into this business for and to do. And, so it's definitely an honor to be able to get out there once again and be able to get and see all these amazing people and artists from all over the Midwest. And, if you guys have been following us, we had to postpone this tour actually last fall, and we were able to complete it this past fall. So, a lot of fun times that we had, and we're going to go ahead and bring up slide 1 now on the broadcast here. And just some amazing shots from some of the different nights. I'm looking at some shots here from, looks like a shot from Witch's Brew, looks like a couple shots from Detroit, nice crowd in Cincinnati, Ohio. We've got some more photos here. Looks like some photos from Lexington, Kentucky, as well as some other shots of Detroit as well. Cincinnati, I think, is in there too. Great time with a lot of amazing artists, a lot of amazing people. Also want to shout out to, all the people that came out to the shows, as well as my family. I had a lot of family that came out the night of Cincinnati, Ohio, night 3. So, shout out to everybody that came out and was a part of that. And, especially my mom for coming all the way down from Michigan to come see us play. That definitely meant the world. So appreciate you, Mom. Love you. And thank you always for all the support. So, and we had a lot of amazing artists that played with us on this last run. Let's go ahead and we'll get that slide up too. And we don't have pictures of everybody, unfortunately, but there's some shots of looks like As the Sky Went Black, and we've got Son of Odin, my boy Black Magic the Infidel. We've got the Lonesome Skeleton Band. Looks like Mindful Dynasty. Looks like Big Sherm, the big homie. And we also have Recurrence, a shot of those guys in there too. So, the tour was a lot of fun, guys. It took a lot of hard work to be able to pull that off, but so glad that we were able to do it. And like I said, it's always about getting out there and meeting new faces and playing new places. That's what it's all about. And speaking of that, my next guest that's going to be on the next portion of this broadcast, they know what's all about that, because these guys have been all over the place, especially this past year. And my guest is going to be Recurrence, and they are currently on standby right now. We're really excited to have them. And they just released a brand new record, guys. It's called Art of Survival. It's heavy. It's dope as fuck. So you guys make sure that you check that out. It's on all the streaming platforms. And we're going to have a couple of those guys from the band live with us here shortly. So you guys go ahead and sit tight, hang out, relax. We're going to play commercial one. It's maybe only about a minute long or so. And then we're going to get right into the interview with Recurrence. All right. So those guys are ready. I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay. So here's commercial one. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Hood Metal Records live stream broadcast. Like, share, and follow us on Facebook. Like our videos on YouTube, and subscribe, and make sure you click the bell for notifications. Hood Metal Records would like to send out a special thank you to our tour sponsor, Thurston Effects Studios. You can check out his amazing work at www.thurstoneffects.com, at Thurston Effects Studios, and facebook.com/Thurston Effects Studios. Are you a business or entertainer? Need to promote your next show or product? We have ad spots available on the Hood Metal Records live stream broadcast. Increase your exposure. Get your ad seen by hundreds to thousands of viewers with cheap rates. Hit us up for a quote today. Email us at hoodmetalrecords@gmail.com. The only one that can stop me is me. The only one that can stop me is me. The only one that can stop me is me.
Bihan, Vigilante, now streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and hoodmetalrecords.com.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. And thank you for tuning in to the live stream broadcast, episode 14. And, the first time we started doing this was, I think, January 2022. So we're going on like about 4 years now of, providing content. We do a few of these, throughout the year. And, it's always a pleasure to be able to share the platform with some amazing artists. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring on the guys from Recurrence. We've got Alex, the singer of Recurrence, and we've got Matt E., one of the guitarists of Recurrence. What's going on, guys?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the broadcast, y'all. Always a pleasure to get to see you guys, man. How's everything going in your guys' world, man? You guys just released a new record.
Yeah, so far it's been really great. We've seen a lot more like streaming numbers, plays, people interacting with the album compared to the first one. Gotten a lot of great feedback on the songs, the new songs. We've been playing a lot of the new songs live now, and definitely had some of the best crowd response for just new songs that people hadn't heard before. So I think people are safe to say they're enjoying the music so far. So that's really great to see. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see like the album has just been like the first album. It was, really melodic death metal and some hardcore in there that got me interested. But Art of Survival is just a huge hodgepodge mix of different influences, and I think the audience can definitely tell, like, oh, I got it from this, I got it from this. I think I heard one fan came up to me after a show and said, "Do you all listen to K-pop?" I'm like, "Don't think so, but sure, if you you find K-pop in there, you know."
Yeah. Wow. No, that I mean that's cool, man. And it sounds like you guys have gone through quite an evolution over the years, you know. How did you guys get started?
Yeah, so originally, I mean, I've had this band since probably back in high school. It started after my original band that I started in high school, like, didn't work out because there's, musical differences, right? People had different ideas about what they wanted to write. So I started kind of learning how to play instruments and songwrite so that I could make the songs that I was wanting to work on. And it kind of evolved out of that. And for a while, I think like 2011 was our first show, and we played some shows till about 2014. We got a demo recorded and an EP recorded back then, but still pretty young and kind of hard to keep a lineup together, especially when other people are, you know, most people like tend to want to write music. There's not so many people that just want to just play shows and play music live, so it's a little bit more tricky to find people that are into what I'm writing and everything like that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, since then, the I guess revival or second iteration of this band, um, back when I got the Exit, the first album, got that out, and I ended up finding the core lineup that we have at the time, including Matt here. He was one of the first people that I got to join the band once I got the first album out. So um, ever since then, we've just been focusing on putting out singles, doing a lot of music videos. Um, Started doing a lot of shows this year. We focused on doing as many shows as possible. And I think right now we might be at like 38, maybe 36 for the year. I think by the end of the year, we should be at 39 shows, which is more than we've ever done previously. I think the most we did was like 16 shows before that in a year. Um, a lot of new cities, new states. I think we're up to we're going to be in Wisconsin for the first time this weekend, so that'll be our 10th state that we've been in. So yeah, this year's been pretty big for Recurrence, doing a ton of shows, putting out this new album. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what we've been working on. Yeah.
Wow. And that's cool. So when was that first album released?
So the first album was released in September of 2023, and
Okay.
the fun fact about it is that, as I mentioned, this band's been around since like 2008, right? So
Yeah.
back in the day, we recorded an EP of most of the songs that never saw the light of day just due to some contractual issues with the studio. But so for the longest time, we didn't have any of these songs recorded. So the album in 2023, those songs have been written, some of them back in 2008, 2011. So these are like old songs that are finally seeing the light of day, which, for a while there, I wasn't sure that they ever would. So it's been a pretty cool experience because with Artist Survival, kind of the same deal. A lot of these songs have been around for a while. And of course, I've, tweaked them and, made some changes and everything like that since, the last decade or so. But all of these songs, it's just really cool that they're finally getting out there. And I think on Artist Survival, the songwriting, as Matt hinted at, it's a lot more, a lot more of a variety sound wise. Push the technical limits, trying to figure out new things we could try. So I think that a lot of these songs they really stand out. I feel like there's not really a weak song on the album. And some of my favorite songs are on this album too. So I think it's pretty good so far.
It's one of those banger after banger after banger, right?
I mean, in my opinion, yeah. And I mean, I felt that way with the Exit too. And I know every band
Yeah.
kind of is like, oh, our new album's the best. But really, when I was working on Art of Survival, I really wasn't sure that it was going to be better or not. And I think that the Exit does some things better than Art of Survival. But for me personally, overall, I think Art of Survival, the songwriting is a lot better, and a lot more
Yeah.
of the variety too as well. And like I said, some of my favorite songs on there, like Art of Survival or Forever and Never, Dreams and Numbers, like those are, I like those songs more than a lot of the songs on the Exit. So it's, yeah, I think overall it's been a good improvement. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I remember every time that we would listen over and over again for the Art of Survival songs. Alex gets really passionate with music. He will say, "This is the best song. This is the best song. This is the best song." Like he would just keep iterating as that, and I'm like, I was just thinking, like, yeah, that's something to look, into it. But yeah, I totally agree. Like, when I got into the band, I could see the influence right away, but like with the Exit at the first album. I remember when Alex and I first met, we're discussing metal, of course, because why not? And I think
Right.
he was thinking like, oh, I don't know, he's gonna just like Metallica and like the common bands out there. But I said, no, I like Arch Enemy and Cattle Decapitation. And Alex was like, oh fuck, like he knows his metal shit, and then when we progressed and learned these songs, and he was showing me, some stuff he's written for Art of Survival, I thought, okay, yeah, this is definitely getting influence of Static X, getting influence of, like some Nine Inch Nails a little bit in there, a
Oh
lot of
wow.
stuff that we're just, uh, I think that's what even makes us a stronger group is because we're just not afraid to push the metal envelope. We would try to pigeonhole ourselves, and like our root is definitely melodic because we know that, melody is like a quintessential thing, but keeping that ground of going different influences and how you can actually, gravitate towards new sounds and, how that builds more fans. I think that's wonderful. In fact, we've noticed we had more women going to our shows in our survival than the Exit. So
Yeah.
I think that's a plus,
Yeah.
because
Well, you
we
guys,
like to dance
yeah,
more,
A lot of dancing.
Yeah.
you guys kind of touched on it a little bit, but my next question actually was like, who are some of your influences?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I really do like a mix of a lot of music. Primarily, obviously, when I'm writing metal, most of my influences from the metal side. I like a lot of like melodic death metal from like Sweden, Finland, where pretty much all that comes from. So, I mean, like Dark
Okay.
Tranquility, Soilwork, The Dusk Fall. Um, Matt mentioned Arch Enemy, Scar Symmetry, all those bands. And I mean, from the American side, I'm into a lot of like the hardcore and metalcore, more so the metalcore too. So I mean, bands like God Forbid or like Bury Your Dead or Amir Acacia Strain. So I love breakdowns, and it seems that with melodic death metal there's not a lot of breakdowns, with breakdown or and with metalcore there's not always a lot of like necessarily the melodic side of things, especially these days what's considered to be metalcore now. So I always like trying to bridge the gap with that. And also I love folk metal, so like Fintroll,
Okay.
Corporate Money, um Tour, Moonsorrow, like all those kinds of bands. Um so I've been trying to work in some folk influences to the music too, which we did on one of our songs called Rise from Nothing, which was pretty fun to do. Um, and then from there, I mean, I like a lot of pop music like Ellie Goulding, Selena Gomez, Carly Rae Jepsen. So like just people that sing really well, right? And
Yeah.
then like a lot of like the Atlanta rap, like OJ the Juice Band, Gucci Mane, Pee Wee Longway. So, and I like country too. A lot of metalheads don't like country, but I like a lot of country. I
Mhm.
like older country, like Tim McGraw, Garth Brooks, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm influenced by a lot musically. So, yeah.
Okay. How about you,
Yeah.
Matt?
Uh, it's kind of like the same boat. I think when you're becoming like a better musician, you can't be afraid to listen to other different kinds of music out there. Um,
Absolutely.
I remember actually, like I'm the only person in my whole family that listens to metal and punk. So I think I had like my own corner. I had my own thing. I did love, like, my mom and my dad grew up as baby boomers, so I grew up with like a lot of 70s folk singer songwriting, which I think is the best singer songwriting decade, hands down. And then it just kind of just progressed with just alternative music. I think I remember REM was like early influence for me, and then it got
Ooh, really
into
interesting.
yeah, yeah, and then it got to punk, which as Alex knows, like a lot of gutter street punk, you know, like the Casualties, and I love listening to, you know, a lot of that stuff, like the Exploits, you know, like really fast pace, you know, kind of stuff. And then I think, yeah, I think when I first heard like Lamb of God record, I just didn't kind of look. I kind of looked back and I thought, I don't know if I get into metal. Then I heard like Randy Blythe's like, no, I'm hardcore punk as well. I'm like, oh yeah, totally. Like I can see, like I can listen to that stuff. And then after that, it was um, like some Whitechapel, some like Nine Inch Nails, like I mentioned before. Um, you know,
Awesome.
Chimera, stuff like that, you know, some obscure kind of metal, you know, like just the heavier and the heavier, I just really want to try to get somewhere, you know, and just, you know, get better at it. Um, but then it kind of got a little tired, and I'm like, yeah, I need to listen to some melody or something different. So like I listened to some Japanese metal, which I think by far people need to
Interesting.
watch more anime, because there's so much Japanese metal and anime music. And then I think yeah, I think Alex also listens to The Who from Mongolia, which I never thought you could blend throat singing and metal.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and then right now
Okay.
just kind of been listening to Ginger, the Ukrainian metal band. So,
Love Ginger, brother.
yeah.
Love Ginger, man. I got them right here on my arm, man. Their logo.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
hell yeah.
met them several times. Ginger is definitely one of my favorite metal bands. Incredible, you know. So no,
Mhm.
I'm glad you mentioned that. No, that's awesome. I appreciate you guys sharing that, because I think it's really important to have a variety of influences when you start a band and when you come together and starting to come up with ideas, and then not just being the one type of, style. But talk to me about metalcore. Like metalcore, what is the difference between metalcore and metal, or metalcore and other genres of metal?
Yeah, so that's a great question that is always internet debate worthy, right? This is my
Yes, I'm curious. I'm curious what your
yeah.
answer is. Yeah.
So this is my understanding, and I'm sure there's probably things I'm not gonna get right. But metalcore originally influenced by a lot of the melodic death metal bands. So some of like the
Okay.
first like modern metalcore bands in America were like Killswitch Engage, and I guess Lamb of God too, considered to be metalcore. And then you have bands like As They Lay Dying. So it's kind of and bleeding through. So like bands like that that have some of the melody, but I think they're just more focused on the breakdowns and less of kind of like I don't know, just the harmony progression perhaps. But I think another common difference with or at least for metalcore is what comparing it to melodic death metal. Melodic death metal, as the name implies, is kind of more rooted in the death metal style. So a lot of the kind of like blast beats, kind of technical playing and everything like that, and also the vocal sound tends to usually be the more classical, like death growls, gutturals, that sort of thing. Whereas metalcore vocals tend to be more of that kind of like shouted, kind of like that almost like we think of like Asley dying, like the way that he does his vocals sometimes. So I think kind of the bigger distinction is more so that melodic death metal is kind of like death metal with melody, and it's more focused around like those style of vocals, whereas metalcore tends to be less influenced by death metal, and I think the vocal style is perhaps I don't know if it's more punk kind of vocal style, but it's less of the death metal vocal style. So that's kind of my understanding of it. But again, I'm sure people perhaps would disagree, and I probably missed something. But yeah,
Yeah. I think also lyrical content is more personal in metalcore. Because like in a lot of
Okay.
like classic metal you will see, like there's like war, there's like talk about blasphemy of religion and stuff like that, political, things. But if you listen to like Beartooth, their songs, they're way more in the personal side. And if you grew up like an emo kid or in that scene, then you can gravitate towards metalcore pretty easily, because it was just kind of like, oh yeah, I feel that same way in a personal level. I don't like my parents, F them. And you can hear like some metalcore songs that have some of that, but more
Yeah.
edgier and way more, less blast beats for sure, and way more emphasis on breakdowns, and all that.
Cool. No, I appreciate the explanation. Just your guys' point of view, and because I know that's definitely a genre that you guys kind of represent yourself with. And we'd like to go ahead and we're going to play song number 1 that we've got that you guys had sent in to just give everybody a taste of what Recurrence is all about. This song is called Art of Survival. This is the title track of their new record that is out, available now on all streaming platforms. This is the title track single that features Peter Vichers, and he is of the band Soilwork. So I definitely want to ask you guys about that. So let's go ahead. We're going to play song 1. You guys kick back, relax, enjoy this song, y'all. And we'll be right back. So just kick it with us and let's play this track.
You told me from the start that my words meant nothing to you. It was you getting what you want, and if ever amount something more than that, it doesn't matter now. Going through now, I'm trying to see the patterns you be broken. For your son and our blood, waiting to be turned back over. Yeah, but I trust in you. Something I know I should never do, but didn't know that it would be my downfall, and I would lose it all. Lose it all from what my past has taught me, and what my instincts tell me now. When your doomsday comes, then you must fight. Point for your release with rifle. I do what you want, this is all set by my eye, for an eye. I will never ever tell myself again, cause my trust is broken like a fucking hopeless. Your feelings, your frustrations will get the best of you. Regret until you're done. Regret until you're fucking done. Yeah, I wish I could make you feel my pain, but I know you're indifferent too. So many years all I wanted was to die. Everything you put me through. And all this cause has no effect on effective means to it. Falling from the into existential nihilism, struggling to find a reason to keep on living. It was nothing new. Watching wrong after their guns on you. I always had your side, but you took the bow. You took what you said. I tried so hard to change the hands of time and fucking fail. But overcoming suffering, learning from failure, that is the art of survival. I do what you want, this is all set by my eye, for an eye. I will never ever tell myself again, cause my trust is broken like a fucking hopeless. I do what you want, this is all set by my eye, for an eye. I will never ever tell myself again, cause my trust is broken like a fucking hopeless. And I fucking trust no one. 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 I fucking trust no one. Never trust anyone. Don't ever trust anyone. Never fucking trust. So it tore down. I tried so hard to build you back up. Little did I know
All right, all right. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the live stream broadcast, episode 14. I'm here with the band Recurrence. Guys, talk to me about this single, Art of Survival, featuring Peter Vichers. He is from the band Soilwork. How did you guys make that collaboration happen?
Yeah, so Peter, so he was the original guitarist of Soilwork. He hasn't been in the band for quite some time now, but he still does like studio projects and things of that nature. So I just kind of reached out to him. Um, I mean, I don't know that he remembered meeting me because it was like when I was like 14 or 15 years old at Ozfest in 2005. But
Awesome.
I'd seen them a few times when they were here in the United States because they're from Sweden. But I just mentioned like, I mean, I think he's one of the greatest guitarists ever. That's that he. So the part he did was that guitar solo. He's like a
Yeah,
really signature guitar solo. Like if you hear one of his solos, you like know that he wrote it. And
yeah,
that's
that's wicked, man. Awesome sound. Yeah, it's great.
yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things that I've always been. Yeah, Sawyer was one of my biggest influence. And I just reached out and said, "Hey, I don't know, are you working on anything right now? Would you be interested in doing a guest solo?" And yeah, he was really excited about it, really into it. And I mean, I might be a little biased, but this is one of my favorite solos that I've heard. But and it's great
Yeah.
because it's yeah. I don't know. I'm just super excited about it. And this is also, for me, this is like my favorite Recurrent song. And so having that solo on top of that just made it all the better. Um,
Yeah.
Especially just with like how the lyrics are, the lyrical content's really personal to me. Just about some, shit that I went through, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, some hard times. But just having that the beauty come out of the tragedy and just thinking like, well, I've got one of my favorite guitarists doing a solo on this song now too is I don't know, it just makes it pretty awesome for me at least. Yeah.
The cool, awesome things that we get to do in this whole life of the music biz, you know what I mean? And getting
Oh
to
yeah.
achieve really awesome moments like that. Talk to me about the album of Art of Survival. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the theme and it's also part of the lyrics of that song too is overcoming suffering and learning from failure. Um that's kind of what ties a lot of these songs together. Um Especially on this album, it's lyrically a lot more dark, I would say, than the first album. Um, and a lot of the themes have to do with, I mean, a lot of more of the kind of rebellion, anarchy side of things, but also just a lot of personal struggles that I've been through as well. So overcoming those types of tragedies as well, and just past trauma, um, and just kind of surviving it all. And at least with the title track, it was, a personal experience that I had that was one of like the, worst points or I guess I want to say moment. Yeah, it's definitely not a moment, but one of the worst periods of my life. And, you know, sometimes the best thing you can do is try to create beauty out of tragedy, as they say. So that's kind of what I was aiming to do with this song. And I think kind of why that it tied that theme together for me, at least. Um, I mean, music is art, right? So art of
Yeah.
survival doesn't just mean like, the art form of like survivalism, right? Like, but also art as music and music used for survival, if that makes sense. Cause a lot of people like for them, like music's a way of life. They need it to survive. I mean, not literally, but without it, I mean, I know I would not probably be doing so well, or at least be doing as well, right? Music means a lot to people, right? It can help heal. So that's kind of the theme I would say, and just where that concept comes from with artist survival. A lot of my songs have kind of I don't want to say they have like double meanings, but they sometimes their themes can also have different interpretations as well. So
Any thoughts on that, Matt?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. There's been like through this whole time when we were recording our survival, there's been many conversations like Alex and I would have where we we talk about, uh, you know, the essence of what, like, don't get too philosophical here, but like what nihilism really means, like you can easily become like a passive nihilist. It's like nothing matters, nothing cares. But him and I agree, like, no, you got to be active. You got to be like trying to find, like, surely, like, nothing matters, but the only thing that does matter is like the aesthetics, the art, and that gravitates towards you. That's what makes us really human, and like if we see the beauty of like how art can really transfer us to the next, sort of, I think, uh again, don't want to be too philosophical here, but like I guess the next plane of influences, then life becomes even more fascinating and more, outgoing out there, we just have like a lot of porch conversations about that, where we really think that metal, of course, is one of the very few genres where like you can talk about something horrible, and at face value, it's like really in your face. It's offensive. It's supposed to be offensive, but underneath it, it's supposed to make you think. Like the other day, I was listening to, uh, I think, the Slayer song, "God Hates Us All,"
Yeah.
and I just
Yeah.
it's a killer chorus, right? And but the whole essence of it was like, yeah, you know what? I don't like when people take, faith too seriously and then they use it against people. So I think like Our Survival is like that album where each song is, goes back to a punk and metal attitude. Is like, hey, there's these bad things that are happening. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to stand up, and what are you going to, do for yourself, so.
No, a great answers, guys. No, I appreciate your opinions and your words on that. No, that's awesome, man. I want to remind everybody to check out the album Art of Survival. It is available on all digital platforms right now. It came out November 5th, so that was last Wednesday. And looks like we just got a comment in from the band Unwinding Reality. It
Oh,
says Recurrence bangs cheeks.
I can't argue with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
This is,
Unwinding Reality. They're really good friends of ours that we've been doing a lot of shows with. Really great group of guys that, I mean, the more shows that we can do together, I think makes the world a better place. And they just put out a music video for their song Enemy. Just give a shout out to them real quick. If you haven't heard Unwinding Reality, check out Enemy. It's really sick. So
Oh yeah.
That's awesome, awesome band. I know they're all kind of, friends, and some of the members of that band are also in Our Misery's End,
yep.
and who we played with on night 3, when we were on the tour with you guys. And so, no, appreciate you guys commenting, man. Much love to everybody in the Cincinnati scene, and that whole area is always near and dear to me for sure. My favorite scene of all time, man. Um, well, let's see here. You guys being an artist in today's music scene, what do you guys feel is the most important part of being an artist in today's music scene?
It's
Oh,
definitely keep evolving, just keep evolving, keep evolving. There are times where we go on tour and we just see that a lot of songs, after maybe two or three, you can kind of get the point. The audience just kind of expects what's going to happen. Um, but people come to see a show, and what that means is they want to see like a theater. They want to see a stage come alive. They want to see something new every time. And Recurrence is not you know going to be static. We're always going to be like dynamic. We always want to try to see the audience move with us, and if we don't, then we'll move you, not push you, but like we will move you. We will go in the crowd, and hopefully you can do that, for
we
us.
will rock you.
Yeah, we will rock you. Yeah, yeah, stomp your feet and whatever.
Yeah.
I think
All right.
also what Matt's saying on evolution too. Um, for me, at least, maybe it's not the most important thing as artists, but for me, it's important right now, at least, or on the forefront of mine is staying true to yourself as an artist.
Absolutely.
And not just as an artist, obviously, but as a person too. And I've kind of learned over the years that even if you know, maybe you believe a certain thing when you're young and you're really sure about it, and then the older you get, you're like, actually, I don't really believe that anymore, right? I mean, that happens a lot with people changing your mind, your notions as you get older and learn new information. But I would say that with that, being true to yourself means being honest about who you are, what you believe, what you stand for. Because I guess I'll just keep it related to music. But, you know, if you're doing something musically that you can't really get behind, or that you're not like really proud of, or, you know, maybe it doesn't have to be perfect what you're doing. But as long as you can get behind it at the end of the day, and in your heart, you know that you did the best that you could with it. I think that's important. And that's, you know, within the writing aspect and what you're putting out there. But as a performing artist, when you're on stage interacting with fans, and even with people that maybe aren't interested in your music, one thing that, for me at least, staying true to myself is giving every show 100%. Like, no matter if I'm in a shitty mood, if I'm like sick and coughing, no matter if we're playing in front of like 0 people, like literally, or if there's just people sitting in a chair, like not even watching us, giving a shit. I perform as if there's a billion people that are just totally into us every time. Even if I'm running out of breath and like, can't do the words, or I'm like falling on stage, or, messing up. I don't know. The only thing that matters to me is just doing the best I can every time, giving 100% on stage. And, if I didn't do that, I don't think that I would, be proud of myself and really be confident with that part of myself as an artist. So that's kind of, I guess, the aspect that I would say is most important: being true to yourself musically, and as a performer as well, just giving it all that you can, no matter what. Because, like I said, even if people are into you, they don't know your music or not, their impression is going to be what you give them. So if you give them a half-assed impression, or you give them a performance where you're like, hey, I'm not really feeling that good, so we're just going to do one more song, hope you guys like it. Or if you're just like running through your songs, you're not talking to the audience, you're not interacting, you're not appreciative, people pick up on that, and they're not going to enjoy themselves, right? And for me, music, as I mentioned, is like a great way to heal people, a great way to get energy out there. So I think it's important that, as a performer, because not a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people can't do what we do, but there's more fans than there are actual performing musicians, right? So I kind of feel like we, as performers, have an obligation to give people a good show. And that can be different what it means, but the idea for me is that to make sure that people are having a good time, make sure they're having fun, make sure that you're doing all that you can to ensure that. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's 5 people or 5,000, you got to give your all, and you're absolutely 100,000% right, man. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head with that one. No, I appreciate your guys' words and comments on that. We do have another song that you guys had sent in as well, too, that we'd like to play for everybody. And so you guys go ahead and kick back, relax, enjoy this next slamming track. This is The Dusk Fall for All Humanities. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Get away from it all.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, y'all. We're talking with the band Recurrence on episode 14 of the live stream broadcast. And man, that was a really another awesome slamming track, man. The Dust Fall for All Humanity. And that is a song that's available off Art of Survival. That is on all streaming platforms right now. So, we're talking Apple Music, Spotify, whatever your pleasure. And make sure you guys stream these guys. Talk to me about what are some of the ultimate goals that your band has?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because there's a lot of specific, unique goals. As an artist, like I know one of my big goals is to one day play the Brutal Assault Festival in Czech Republic. So that's an artist
Okay.
goal. Playing a giant festival would be another goal in general. Like Incarceration, we trying to slowly see if we can get on that show someday. But I think more so with me, the kind of the overall goal is not just performing shows for a lot of people and getting my music out there, but also I'm gonna say like hoping that my music is able to help somebody. I know that's probably pretty like a common thing that people say. Um, but for me, that can be anything from whether it's like lyrically or whether they just have a great time at a show and just get an escape from all the drama and bullshit in life, even just for a little while. So I think that that's kind of what drives me a lot too, is especially with some of the lyrics I write. I'm pretty hard about the lyrics that I write. So I'm not always I do the best that I can, but I'm not always satisfied with the end result with lyrics specifically. Um, but there's some songs that I feel a lot better on lyrically, especially some of the more personal stuff that I try to, like I said, turn, tragedy into beauty or something negative into positive if I can. So I try to at least, even if the song's like depressing and like hopeless, kind of like Art of Survival, those lyrics and everything like that, I still try to at least have some kind of glimmer of hope, or at least maybe someone like sees those lyrics and maybe they're going through the same thing and they felt as hopeless as I did when I was, writing that concept. So maybe they feel less alone. So that's one thing I think is probably what's driving me overall. So like I said, there's the performance goals that would be like fun accomplishments as a band, but then kind of the overall, like, why am I doing music other than, for myself, right? And I think that's probably to just try to help people. Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Matt?
I think Alex took every single big thing I wanted to say.
Okay. Yeah, no, great answer, man. Yeah, no, I mean
That was whispering his answers into my earpiece here, so I just said
Yeah.
exactly what he was telling. No.
there you go, telepathically, just sending that signal. You guys are on the same page. That's what
Yeah.
counts, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So your boys in Unwinding Reality commented again. It says, when I listen to Recurrence, my neighbors also listen to Recurrence.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I've witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're good sports. You guys have had quite an impressive show schedule this year. And I think you touched on it earlier about how this is the most shows that you guys have probably played in a year's time. I mean, you guys have gone through several states, and like I said, very, very impressive schedule. Do you have any favorite cities or venues or anything that kind of comes to mind that sticks out from this past year of this latest run?
I know I do, and it's interesting because so some venues I like as far as the venues. So some of my favorite venues to perform at, one was Musica in Akron. Um
Okay.
that place was just incredible. The stage, like they had amazing staff, a great sound guy, clean bathrooms, a green room,
That's important.
and most people are listening like, isn't that like standard? No, that's not standard when you're playing metal shows. So that was one of my favorite venues. Also, Hidden Gem in Dayton is really, really great. Blind Bob's in Dayton is one of our favorites too. They've
Oh,
got like really great food. Any venue that has food is really great in my eyes.
Yeah,
Favorite
that's a plus.
Yeah. Favorite cities like that we played in. Um, I know recently so we just went to Alabama for the first two times. We played in October 4th in Huntsville at Maggie Myers Bar, and we played at this place called The Shed in Tuscumbia, Alabama. And we had some of the best crowd response and some of like the friendliest people, the friendliest staff. Um, and I don't know, it just really stood out to me because like there's some cities I guess people say are like better for metal than others. And
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, and I
100.
guess I mean I have been to Alabama before, but not I mean all these places I don't go to for shows, right? Why would I drive 8 hours to go see a show when I'm seeing it closer, right? So I didn't necessarily
Yeah,
experience like their metal scene and like the fans and everything. Um, but yeah, those last couple Alabama shows I think were really great. We had a person that was there and it was her first concert ever. I don't know, she's like a teenager, I'm guessing. And
cool.
she
Yeah.
like came up to us on stage and she had like this like notebook and she's like, "Hey, I drew you while you're on stage." And like it was like a really good drawing. And we were on stage for
Wow.
like 30 minutes and I was like, "How did you just do that quickly?" And she's like, "Would it be okay if you signed it for me? Like this is my first concert ever." And I was like, "Well, guess what? This is your first concert ever. This is our first fan art ever. So yeah, we'll definitely sign it." So just I don't know,
That's
something like that was
amazing.
like kind of cool to me. And so yeah, I think the Alabama shows are pretty great so far. Not to say that other cities were bad. I mean, there were some bad experiences that we've had at shows, sure. But yeah, just those ones really stuck out to me. And then we one of the bands that we made friends with called Sanity's Ends. They even filled in on guitar and bass for us at the show in the Shed.
Oh,
They invited us out to a show in Birmingham, so we already had like 4 more shows for this month and we were done, but they were like, "Hey, can you do Birmingham with us?" And I talked to the guys and I was like, I mean, it's another chance to go back to Alabama, new city, new state with our friends, so we're already going back to Alabama again. So, yeah, that's for me, that's what's off the top of my head, yeah.
yeah.
Or
There's
Matt, what
also
so
about some
dope, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's also that Nashville show as well, which I think was pretty killer.
Mm,
Because I had to say like I can't remember the venue, but
Dark Matter Collective.
yeah, Dark Matter Collective. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're very nice to us.
yeah.
And we had like a really good turnout that night. Especially, I think that was the best green room that we ever been in. It was like,
That was a pretty
you
good
know,
Yeah.
one.
it was a pretty good one, and there was a lot of art, and there was even a lot of people in there that, of course, wanted to listen to their friends' band or hardcore music that was in the beginning, but they actually stuck around. They actually gave us a chance. Like shout out to Nashville, always a music city to give people a chance, man.
Yep. We're going back to Dark Matter
Mhm.
Collective on the 22nd too. So
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Very, very cool, guys. Very cool. Appreciate you sharing all that. Well, you guys had sent in also a music video. And this is an amazing music video, guys. Hats off to whoever shot this, man, because they do some killer work. And,
Yeah.
this is a really awesome track. We're going to go ahead and play this music video. So you guys go ahead and hang out, relax. Let's kick back and enjoy some metal. And this is the music video for Remember Who the Enemy Is. Let's
If I can
check it
give a
out.
quick shout out, so the person that made the video, because his name's Scott Hansen, he's with Digital Thunderdome Studios in Atlanta. He's done tons of videos with huge bands. Literally one of the best experiences. I mean, at least for me, what that I've had as a band was just working with the team there, and this video that he did, they built this set for us, like it was custom designed. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to Scott Hansen and Digital Thunderdome. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. No, appreciate you mentioning that. All right, let's go ahead. We'll play that video. Let's enjoy it.
Yep.
Since you have no chance, 33 cut from your pocketbook. It's all by your side, keep lost in line. If you want me to beg your name, then you better bring back to break it. Remove me now, for if you don't, I will run back up and revolt. I won't take it. Surviving just to feel pain, persevering to this day. Someday you can lead the way, ignite the world and spark the flame.
All right, and welcome back, everybody. That was Recurrence with the music video, Remember Who the Enemy Is. You know, once again, guys, very impressive, very awesome music video. You know, I've had the pleasure and the honor of getting to talk to you guys tonight and getting to play with you guys, you know, a few times in Cincinnati. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to, you know, talk briefly about, you know, before we wrap up this portion of the broadcast. You know, we had some fun with you guys on night 3 and night 4 of our latest tour. And so, you know, just talk to me about, you know, anything that sticks out from those 2 shows that we got to do with you guys.
Yeah, for me, I would say it was our first, the 2 shows we did. So Cincinnati was Oddfellows, and then Lexington was Girls Burritos. So those were new venues for us. With me, anytime playing a new venue is kind of say anxious, because is it going to be a good venue? Is it going to be bad? Is like the sound going to be good? Are people going to show up? Like, you never know until you do it, right? And you sometimes can't always guess, right? But at least for me, I had a great time at both of those places. Oddfellows, again, I had mentioned that I like venues that have food, right? Oddfellows had amazing pizza. Lexington,
Oh,
the Girls Burritos had amazing, I mean, burritos and all types of other food. And they had it was like in a nice area too, like right by the I think it was UK campus there too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, the Lexington show I thought was really fun too, especially having Hypnotica on there because she was someone that saw us the first time we were in Lexington, and she was as a fan, and that was like her first time seeing like a metal band. She's a hip hop rap artist, and we always talked about like, oh, we should try to do a show together, but you know, metal and rap don't always see eye to eye, so it's kind of hard to get some of those lineups together. So I thought it was really great that we were able to all get together and do that show. So anytime I get to play shows with people that, you know, I'm friends with or that I enjoy their music or anything like that, those are some of my most favorite shows that we get to do. So that, yeah, that's what stood out for me for sure.
Yeah, and I'd say that was a it was a good blend of you know, different fans and different people really seeing us out there. I especially just liked the tour where it blended, you know, with Ghoul with a little goth aesthetic going in, and then you all coming out with like, you know, going hard and then bringing out that evil, that incarnation, you know, magic, if you will. Um, I especially, you know, give a shout out to Lexington, Kentucky, you know, my hometown. I grew up, you know, big portion over there. And even my mother, first metal show she's ever saw, everyone thought it was really great, you know. So shout out
Yeah,
to
his
your
mom
moms.
came out to go see us. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
shout out to your moms.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
at Girls Burritos, that
Yep.
show, your mom came on to?
yeah,
Oh,
she
wow.
did. Yeah,
That,
she never been to a metal show, and I think I almost psyched her out because I said, "Yeah, you may see some moshing, maybe see some broken noses." I was like doing the whole metal thing and everything, but she just went in, and then after we played and she saw you all, she just said to me afterwards, "That was fucking awesome," like that. so my so I converted my mother being a metalhead, you know.
Yeah,
shout out to moms coming out to support, you know. My
right.
mom came away from Michigan with to see some of the family in Cincinnati and then come out with them to see a Saturday night, you know. So my mom was there night 3, your mom was there night 4. We looks like we got Jeff Lowry that's commenting right now. What does he say? He says Lexington in the house lurking. He was there. He shot a lot of video for us. Thank
Yeah.
you, Jeff. What you done, man?
Yeah, thank you.
Looks like your boys in well, your crew in Unwinding Reality says, can we talk about that stupid ass parking ticket?
Oh,
Yeah,
in Cincinnati,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I can talk about that. So, you know, yeah, I've been playing Cincinnati a lot over the years, but this was actually my first time playing Oddfellows. And so I had no idea what the parking was. I heard it was just kind of a doozy. And, you know, we
Yeah.
get there, you know, I got a trailer. There's nowhere to park the trailer. I go behind the building, and there's kind of like a real small alley, and then there's like a slope down by where like the dumpster is, and I'm thinking, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to pull that out of there, you know. And so we drove around a few times. They had asked us, they're like, "Oh, you can park a couple blocks away," and I'm like, "Nah, that's not happening, man." We've heard all kinds of stories about this part of town, you know, and so
Yeah.
um, well, I had watched for a while, and the rideshare spots were open, man. Yeah, I mean, nobody was parking there. There was no DoorDash, no Lyft, no Uber, and you know, I did see like there was like a bus stop area or something like that, like a couple spaces up. And so, you know, I just from experience, okay, don't fuck with that, you know, because like they will tow you. And so, you know, I'm like, all right. And so I you know, tried to coordinate with the venue several times, like, hey, I gotta park, gotta have somewhere to park. And I'm just like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna park out front here in the rideshare spot and we'll see what happens. And you know, I was checking on it like every hour just to see, you know, just make sure everything was cool, everything was kosher. There was no problems for like most of the night. And all of a sudden, I think it might have been when Our Misery's End was on, or maybe right before you guys were going to go on, something kind of like towards later in the night. But all of a sudden, the sound guy and the promoter, Zach, had come running up to me, and he's like, "Okay, yo, bro, we got a situation. Like they're here to get you right now. We got to go." So we go running upstairs, man, and they come running outside, and they've already slapped the ticket on it. There's actually two nice ladies, so shout out to them for being cool, downtown. I know they're just trying to make their money, upkeep the city, but thankfully they towed somebody else that night, because whoever parked in that bus stop spot or whatever, yeah, they got their ass towed, man. That big white truck. But since we had the trailer, they weren't messing with us. I think it was only a $65, so I mean, it is what it is. I think that venue definitely needs a lot better parking for, and I said that to them, guys. I was like, you guys get some bigger bands in here, man. Like, where the fuck are they gonna park?
Yeah.
They've got buses, they've got bigger trailers than, I mean, I just had a rental. Like, that's, if you want to get like Green Jelly or somebody even bigger, like, dude, they're going to need some space. So I think that's definitely an area of opportunity for them. But what was really cool and really special about that was, when that shit all went down and happened, Zach, he got on the mic in between one of the band sets and was like, "Yo, the touring artists just got a ticket from downtown Cincinnati. Let's band together, go back there, buy their merch, try to support them, try to help pay off the ticket." And honestly, man, that shit meant the world to me, because a lot of places wouldn't do that for you or not have your back like that. And so I mean, that's cool, and everybody's like, the ticket, and I agree, fuck the meter maids, but these meter maids were actually pretty nice about it. I was just happy I didn't get towed, man. Like I took the risk. It was a ticket, slap on the wrist, whatever. It's all part of a good story, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to Zach.
Yeah.
He was very helpful. He's been great when we've been there at Oddfellows, so shout out.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the thing behind, like the thing is like most people don't, the fans out there, we love you all, but you have to understand, like us musicians, we go to these odd places every night. We go to these weird neighborhoods. We've been to like an attic. We've been in a basement in Chicago. We go into like really crappy bathrooms you would not believe. So, any way to, support us and, safe travels for us and everything, it means the world to everybody.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever heard of Harpo's in Detroit, man, that's an old school theater. They've done a lot of metal there over the years, and they say if you can survive a Harpo's bathroom, you can survive any form of disease on the planet.
we played at a show in Detroit. We won't say the name because we don't want to, but we played in a show in Detroit where like a lot of the sound kept going in and out, and the stage was so thin. It was the second floor. We were praying that, oh my God, let's not land on the first floor. It was that thin. Every time I stepped on, it's like the wood was going to crack. It was a rough venue.
Yeah, we were transitioning between like full loudness with electricity, and then halfway through the song it would cut and we'd just be acoustic, and I'd just be shouting without a microphone, and then it would come back on, and then go back off. And it was like 1,000 degrees, and I did have fun. I was like this. That's another thing we were talking about, our favorite shows. Sometimes for me, a show, my performance can be good or it can be bad, but the show itself can also be good or bad. So for me, that was like a bad set, right? Because our sound was cutting out, but I was like making the most of it just because I was like pushing through, and I was like, this is like a challenge. And for me, that was like fun to be like, I was just like shouting as loud as I could without a mic. I started like crawling on top of like the PA system because I'm like, it's not working, so I'm not going to break it. So, and people were like, getting into that. So I actually, that was a rough set, but that was a show that I remember that actually was ironically fun because of like, I guess how rough it was. Yeah.
I think I remember Christian's amp. the original guitarist for Recurrence, his sound was going in and out, and I was the only one with the line bass. So like all I heard was just me playing the bass, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I'm
Yeah.
just doing this, but I'm keep going. I'm in the pocket, as all bassists. We gotta stay in the pocket. We gotta be, the percussion and the melody. We just gotta keep going. You know.
I mean, it happens to everybody, even the big bands. Like I recall seeing Marilyn Manson on tour earlier this year, and they
Oh
played
wow!
the
Yeah.
first song or two, and they were rocking that joint so fucking hard that the smoke alarms went off, and the whole show got shut down and shit. Like,
Wow.
well, I mean, they were able to get it cleared and all that, and were able to continue on with the show, but it's like, whether you're a local band or up and coming touring band or a massive band, I mean, it happens to all of us. We've
Yeah.
all experienced some type of, and so a lot of times it's out of our control, and so you just kind of you can't take it personal. You got to roll with the punches. You got to try to have fun with it and try to get through it. Looks like we got another comment from a good friend of all of ours, Amber. Beaslebub just commented, singer of Misery's End, says adults with full-time job and an expensive ass hobby. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I definitely have my day job, and I'm still trying to grind and do what I got to do, and I'm sure everybody else is too on this chat. So yeah, no, I appreciate you commenting, and thanks for being a part of the show and everything, and much respect and love to you. So man, this has been a great interview, guys. We've really enjoyed getting to talk to you guys. And I want to make sure before we get wrapped up here in just a minute that everybody has got a chance to be able to find you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get this graphic up here and let everybody know that the band Recurrence, you can check them out on their official website at www.recurrence.band. And on Facebook at facebook.com/recurrence or die. That's also they're at Recurrence or Die on Instagram and YouTube. They do have a Bandcamp account, so make sure you go there, support them as well. And like I said, you can stream all of their material on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, whatever your pleasure. So, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure getting to interview you guys for the broadcast. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this portion?
Final thoughts. Yeah, this was a good interview. I really did enjoy it. I appreciate the questions you were asking. It really got me thinking about some stuff that I haven't thought about in a while, and so that was a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll get to do some more shows together too. I know we're trying to get back to Detroit as soon as possible. That's if you look at like Spotify, it tells you where like a lot of your top cities are, and Detroit's been at the top for a while. So we've been like trying to get back there. So hopefully we'll be able to get back up there. And then final thoughts. I mean, I always say like, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, share our music, show people. Even if you can't come to shows, just helping us get our numbers up, get our, like all that stuff's really important for bands. It might not seem like it, but labels really care about that sort of thing. And as we mentioned, it's an expensive hobby. It's my dream to do as a career, or at least be able to break even would be nice. So yeah, anything you can do, sharing the music, listening, do it, telling your friends. For me, that's more important than, I mean, if you're not able to come out to a show or anything like that, there's still things you can do if you do enjoy our music. And yeah, Artist Survival is out on all platforms. We got a couple more shows coming up. We've got this weekend, November 15th, Saturday, Milwaukee at Bremen Cafe, and then Saturday, November 22nd at Dark Matter Collective. Again, we return to Nashville. Sunday, December 23rd, return to the Hidden Gem in Dayton, Ohio. And then so far, our last show of the year is going to be November 29th, Saturday, and Birmingham, Alabama at the Nick. So if you're watching from any of those locations, please come check us out. Let us know what your favorite songs are, what songs you want to see live, that sort of thing.
Yeah. If you're from California, if you're from Washington State, travel all the way to our shows, tell us all about it, play Recurrence, in your car and everything, give us a shout out, support the bands, that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. It's been a pleasure to interview you guys, and it's always a lot of fun getting to connect and be able to talk to you guys. I wish you safe travels out there and all the best of success in the world with your new record, and just keep on going, doing what you're doing, y'all.
Yep, thank you, and I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
it, Beyond. Keep doing what you're doing too.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys stay in touch, man. You guys be safe. Happy holidays, all that jazz, and go kick ass on some of these last few shows that you're going to do for the year, and get ready to gear up for next year, man. And I'm sure we will definitely see each other again. So thank you guys so very much for being a part of the broadcast.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, guys. You guys take care. Have a great night. All right.
All right, we'll do.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Good night.
All right. Yes. Thank you. All right, guys. So we just interviewed the band Recurrence, and wow, what an awesome interview, man. Those guys had some really killer answers. I always really enjoy getting to talk to them. Alex and I kind of hit it off one of the last times I was in Cincinnati, and we played a place called Legends. Shout out to Q. And we ended up just being real cool, and we talked all night, man. Talked about music and life and all kinds of cool stuff, and I've kept in touch. And when we were able to reschedule the tour, we definitely wanted them a part of it, and so we're really glad that we've made that connection with them. So I definitely, truly, sincerely wish them guys all the best. So you guys go ahead and stick around. We've got just a little bit more. We're going to talk about what's next for Hood Metal Records and myself. But first we're going to play commercial 2. So you guys hang tight, and we're going to be right back.
Yo, I'm Black Magic the Infidel, and I want y'all to check out Hood Metal Records Livestream Broadcast. Also check out episode 12, the Black Magic episode, and be on the lookout for my new single, 9.5 on the Richter scale.
You've been around and you've done quite a bit thus far. A lot of amazing experiences that you've talked to me about. What do you think is the best moment of your career thus far?
The Gathering. I mean, you can't beat that exposure. There's so many people. You know what I mean? It's just so rowdy. The whole vibe is like, yeah! You know what I mean? The whole time.
Well, I mean, that's like your guys' WrestleMania, man. Or your guys'
yeah, it is.
I mean, that's the big time. That's the
the Super Bowl. Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah.
You used to play guitar in a band?
Yeah, I play guitar, bro. I've been meaning to show you, man. I've been playing guitar since I started playing the cello when I was like 12, because my parents weren't going to buy me a guitar. At first, they thought it was a fad. So they were like, first you got to learn this, and then we'll see. And then I was like in the school fucking thing with the cello, man. Yeah, for like a whole year. And then my first guitar was a blue bass guitar. It was a short neck. Yeah, and I was taking lessons right off 8 Mile when I was living in Detroit, little kid. I was like 12. Then I got my first guitar probably at 14. And my first lead guitar. Yeah. I got like 5 right now here at the crib, man. I play all the time.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Hood Metal Records live stream broadcast. And, this is episode 14. We just got done interviewing the band Recurrence out of the Cincinnati, Kentucky, the Cincinnati, Ohio, Independence, Kentucky area. So, shout out to all those guys, man. Definitely much love and wish them all the best with everything that they got going on. Thank you for everybody for commenting and joining the conversation. Really do appreciate all that. So, we want to talk about kind of what's next for, Hood Metal Records and myself. Recently I had released a new single that was Vigilante, and it's a song I've kind of had out for just a little while, but finally got it recorded and produced and everything, and released that back on September 19th. And that was during the tour that we just did. And it's basically about being the spirit of anti-hero. And then, just kind of being against the grain and, still trying to push forward and not allowing anybody to stop you but you. You're the one that decides when your time is up or when you've had enough. Don't let anybody else decide that for you. And so, yeah, Vigilante is out now. You can stream and purchase that on our official website at hoodmetalrecords.com. As well as all streaming platforms. So, of course, we're talking about Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all that kind of stuff. And, so what's next? What's next for Behan? What's next for Hood Metal Records? Well, these past few years, I've really kind of been hitting it hard and been trying to do, a lot of shows. Last year was probably the most shows I've played in a very long time. And, then this past year, 2025, getting out there and getting to get back on the tour again definitely meant the world to me. And so I feel like it's time to start writing again. So I think for me, for now, for the future, I'm going to be taking some time for myself, and I really want to be able to develop and finish some new material that I've kind of been working on for a while now. I feel like it's time to really put my all into this next record. As if maybe it's my last, maybe it's not, but I'm one of those type of people that I pour so much into my art, and it's hard for me to be able to focus solely on that when I'm so focused on doing live streams and doing tours and doing shows and promoting. And I mean, there's so much that goes into all of this, of course. I mean, you got to wear a lot of hats in this business. And so, I really want to take some time to be able to write and finish and work hard on this next release. So that's kind of what I'm planning over the winter months. And then as far as next year goes, I am looking to do a few shows. I'm not necessarily looking to tour unless maybe something kind of comes up that I can't really, turn down, I suppose. Sometimes it's hard to say no, especially when you get the call sometimes. And, sometimes you gotta be ready. You gotta stay ready. So, but I would like to do a few shows next year, but I think my main focus right now is to really take some time to kind of go away for just a little bit, not too long. And I really want to focus hard on these next songs. I've got a couple covers that I'm doing, a couple new ones, and I've got a few songs or more that are currently in development that I really want to just take the time to dive into and dial in and make sure that it's exactly how I want it, because this next album is gonna, I've got a lot to say about a lot of things. So I really appreciate everybody's love and support, and we're definitely not going away. This is going to be our last live stream of the year of 2025. We normally do about 4 of these every year. It's normally like a quarterly kind of thing. And so, like I said, we'd like to kind of let everybody know what we're up to, but we also like to share the platform and give some cred and give some respect to a lot of different artists. Hood Metal Records, we dare to be different, and we showcase a lot of different genres because we believe in music, not just one style. And so really want to thank everybody that tuned in and was a part of this broadcast, and definitely stay informed and stay in touch with us. One of the things you can do is you can check out our official website, and that is at hoodmetalrecords.com. You can stream some of our releases that we've done. We have recorded audiobooks. We have done music albums, EPs, singles. There's some stuff from Ghoul on there. You can view our list of services as well as some of our past live streams. We definitely want to remind you to make sure that you like, follow, and share us on Facebook, as well as subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. So keep informed with us, especially when we're putting out new content and such. And one of the best ways that you can help support us at Hood Metal Records is by visiting our shop. And that is at hoodmetalrecords.com/shop. There's also extension right off the main website, but that's the direct link. We do have some, I'm just about out of physical tour shirts that we have from this past run, but you can still order them on the website. We do have a Behan Vigilante t-shirt that's available on the website. We've got some stuff from Ghoul. We do have some other merchandise, so go ahead and check out the website, skim through our catalog. And as always, we really appreciate you guys for tuning in and being a part of this broadcast, man. I cannot thank you guys enough. So, thank you so very much for everybody that's giving us a like, giving us a listen, come out to a show, all that kind of stuff. So, I can't express my gratitude enough how much support really means in today's world and today's music business. So everybody stay down, stay true, keep doing what you're doing, and always dare to be different. So my name is Bihan, and signing off for the final live stream of 2025. We will see you guys sometime early next year for episode 15. So stick with us and stick around. Thank you guys so very much. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Bye.